Uh, Hello, folks. I think we are live now. Okay, we're actually live. Um, Hello, people of the world. Welcome to today's stream. This is militano.com, and I am your comrade, TONY. Now, war does not leave a good taste in the mouth. It is not a good thing. And wherever it goes, there is a telling tale that makes it war. It looks alike no matter the country, no matter the continent, no matter the people. It is reminiscent of death, losses, tears, and anger. Now, the war in Ukraine is a year plus today. And as it is with wars, there are losses at both sides. And in the Ukrainian side, like we said last week, it's been huge. The money that it will cost to refix and rejig Ukraine, it's gigantuan. But today, we want to take a look at the other side, and that is Russia. Russia. We did say Russia has lost a lot of billions last week, during the course of the war. It has been huge for them also. But then, wars don't happen in isolation. It does not take one man to start a war. It takes a whole lot of people. And so the Russian hierarchy, the oligarchy in Russia, they are also, as much as it can get, they are also responsible for the war. Those who helped Vladimir Putin on, who told him this war was necessary, who told him it was winnable within a given set of time, who actually believed in the theory of blitzkrieg in approaching the war as Ukraine. There are a number of them, very numerous, because my people will say, whatever touches the sponge will touch the hand. And when it comes to war, nobody, I repeat, nobody is safe. Needless to say, it will be safer if we can be able to have a world without war. On my screen, you will see the face of an handsome gentleman. We actually use that as a cover today because this man, owner of the London club, the Chelsea Football Club. Now, there are a number of these oligarchs and henchmen, a member of Putin's inner circle, who basically were aware that this war was going to take place anyway. It was going to take place anyway. They knew it was going to take place. But then, you know how this is. They never thought that 1 year on, this war will still be dragging on. That's the point I want us to establish. They never thought. It was not part of the plan. That 1 year on, the war in Ukraine will still be a subject or a topic for discourse. And so, we want to take a look today. In fact, the topic says 10 Russian oligarchs who have lost their wealth due to the war in Ukraine. You know, a shared $330 billion, $330 billion since the beginning of this war. Since the beginning, $330 billion, and that is a whole lot. That's a whole lot. And so we want to look at it. How have they also been inflicted? We know that the UK government has taken a leading role in picking out, do I say, friends to Putin to be punished. Yes, you know, I've been told to their face that if you have been able to tell your friend that this war was unnecessary, maybe the world would have been able to avoid it in all its nature. But then, although I call them the bourgeois, have a particular way of thinking. And when it comes to them, what they think about is profits, profits, and profits. And so, they didn't think about, oh, human lives, people are going to die, blood will be wasted. What they wanted was for the war to continue and for them to keep making gains. Because you see, most of these Russian billionaires, you see, their investment is majorly in Europe, across Europe, the United Kingdom. If not that today the sanctions in Europe is just too much, and then they are beginning to concentrate their attention in the Middle East. You know, it's been in the UK, it's them like a tornado. You know, when the Russia was banned from SWIFT, it was like a tornado. It was like a tornado. So, you put it side by side. The first one we'll be discussing today is Roman Abramovich, who basically, anyway, the reason why we knew him was that he bought the Chelsea Football Club, brought in the Russian swag, huge investments, brought in great players, and they became a very exciting group, winning the Premier League and winning the FA Cup and even the Champions League. This war, you know, it's been said his law was one of the first to be subjected under UK sanctions after ministers in the UK government accused him of having clear connections to Putin's regime. You know, so he was one of the first, and that is why he's number one on our list today. You know, he's lost a whole lot of things. In fact, the UK government termed them as men with blood in their hands. You know, they are seen as the major architects of this war, and so they are being sanctioned. Now, before we actually start a rundown to this list, let us get something very clear. You know, while the UK believe that sanctions will do it, they believe once they are sanctioned, they will turn around, and then there are even some musings in some corners that some of these billionaires may take away Putin. I beg to have the Russians are basically not like that. This war means so much to them. They believe in the glory of the motherland, bringing back the former Soviets. And needless to say that most of those who have openly accused Putin, have criticized the war, have encouraged him to actually cease from prosecuting the war in Ukraine, have one way or the other be taken out. So these ones here are the one abetting it. So number one on our list is Roman Abramovich. He's lost his club, the Chelsea Football Club. He has lost 57% of his wealth within the course of this war. Because one of the reasons I believe that sanctions may not do it for these guys is this. A billionaire understands profits. A billionaire in dollars understands how money can bring more money. It's all about trading to them. So they know that if now, because money does not hide in isolation. That is the first thing. Money does not hide in isolation. As they are losing the money, some other guys, maybe probably from the West, are filling in the gaps and filling in their purse. So they understand this game. It's like the game of chess. So they know that if this war can be prosecuted and Russia carries the day, they know that they can be 10 times or 15 times richer than they were when the war started. So this is all about a game. It's all about war in the 21st century. It's all about economics. You know, it's all about economics. So number one on our list today in Vladimir Putin's kitchen cabinet is Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich is much loved among sporting circles, mostly in Africa. These guys have been with Putin for a very long time, and they've been able to build an enviable future for Russians, no doubt. In fact, from my side as an African, it will be wrong for me to criticize the kind of life the Russians have. To an African, it is like heaven on earth, you know. So number one on our list is Roman Abramovich. He has lost 57% of his wealth, and the war is just a year and a couple of months. Now this war, as it's been seen, may drag to whenever. Nobody knows, because as it stands, this is already becoming a war of attrition. It's already becoming a war of attrition, and in wars of attrition, nobody knows the end. It ends when you see the end. So, number two on our list is this guy, Gennady Timchenko. Gennady Timchenko. You see how he looks so bright, you know, looks so handsome. He looks like a buttered bread from the oven. It's quite aged, but it looks very handsome, very handsome. And Zinchenko is a close ally of, sorry to say, Timchenko is a close ally of Putin. He's been there since the 90s. They've been friends. They've seen it all. They are Putin's rise to becoming the great leader that he is today. Timchenko has been by his side. He's a trusted ally. In fact, he's a Russian businessman and oligarch. He's a founder of one of the biggest oil firm in Russia. You know, he's been there. He's been there for the man. These are men that can never, ever give up on Putin. Never. They've been there for him. They understand what the problem is. They've been able to imagine a possible solution to what they perceive as the problem. And that this man has also grew over the years. Over the years, he's grown. As his friend is growing, he's also growing. He's a founder of Volga Group and has been a close friend of Putin since 90s. He then is the chairman of the Hockey National League and some other. He's lost 48% of his wealth since the beginning of this war. 68% of his wealth since the beginning of this war. And do not forget, these guys are billionaires in dollars. They are insane billionaires in dollars. They have investments all over Europe and all over the world. And apart from the company he owns, the Volga Group, they are an investing platform. He's also the owner of Transoil LSC and ENA. You know, he's been there and he's grown. You see, smile. This smile is worth $1 billion, and this is him with Putin discussing some very important matters. Now, let's be frank. When you see people like this discuss, even their smile, don't take it for granted. It's a very serious matter. It's a serious matter for them. These are world leaders. They decide and push issues around. So you understand. So this guy has lost 57% of his wealth in this war. He's also owns a large investment firm, both in Russia and in Europe. So, Mr. G, Timchenko Gennady is number 2 on our list that has lost heavily to this war in Russia. And number 3 in our list is a very handsome guy, Suleiman Kerimov. Suleiman Kerimov is a very close friend of Putin. You see, these guys are almost the same age. They may have lived through the Second World War. They may have been with, it's possible they've been with Putin in the KGB. They've been partners. They've been like brothers, you know, man oh man, through the years. So Suleiman Abu Saidovich Kerimov. He says a Russian-based billionaire and politician of the lesbian origin. You know, he's a politician. This is not a strictly businessman. In fact, being a billionaire in a place like Russia means you must have strong connection in politics. They are not parallel lines. They always meet. You know, you must be in government, and high in government, and an high in business. He said he has close ties with Putin and with the Chechen leader. So you see, he's highly connected from both sides. It's not just, this man is not a pushover. And he said he has lost approximately 11.4 billion. 11.4 billion, amounting to 41% of his total wealth. You know, he said, you see, smile. So this guy has been with Putin since he joined politics in 1990. He's been with Putin. They've been friends. They've been close ally, exchanging ideas together, and all through the Crimea imbroglio, he's been with Putin. And so I think it is okay for the West that they are not holding only Putin to question, but also these guys who've been able to put one or two things as a way of suggestion towards this war. And you are not just punishing Putin alone, holding a whole lot of people to question. So that is number 3 on our list, Mr. Suleiman Abu Saidovich Kerimov. Now, number 4 on our list is Viktor Rashikov. Viktor Rashikov. He said he's a close friend, ally of Putin. He's chairman of Severstal. Chairman of Severstal, and he has lost 41% of his wealth. Now, when you see these guys, how smooth they look, how handsome they pass across, you wonder when things like this are said about them. You wonder when things like this are said about them. Now, these are men who basically understand they understand how these things, how world politics are going, and they should be able to, since God has blessed them, they should be able to use their wealth to impact the world, not to encourage a war that will cost lives. Now, since the war in Ukraine started, now this very handsome man, Viktor Rashkov, Mudashov, has lost 41% of his total wealth. No, this is Alexis Mudashov. Let me look for Viktor Rashkov. Viktor Rashkov. Okay, yeah. I have this clip here. Yes, this is with Viktor Rashkov. Viktor Filipovich Rashkov. He said he's made his wealth in steel and iron. Born October 1948. He has been with Putin for a very long time. Given the fact that if he was born 1948, that was 3 years after the Second World War. So he's been a very close ally of Putin, and they've grown together. He said he made his wealth in iron and steel, owning a majority in the Magnitogorsk, one of the major steel and iron company in Russia. He said he has lost 41% of his wealth since the war began last year, and he is still moving on. It's the only majority in the Magnitogorsk iron and steel works. So he's a strong friend of Putin. He is worth $10.2 billion, and out of that $10.2 billion, he has lost 41%, and that's a huge chunk of the money that he owned. Now, imagine if this war would stretch for 3 more years. Basically, these guys will be broke. They'll be broke. So, that's number 4 on our list, Viktor Rashkov. And in our number 5, we have the man Alexei Mordashov. Now, Alexei Mordashov passes across like as a CIA agent. Man, it looks calm, it looks calculated, and at times it looks serious. You see, it's that Dwayne Johnson look, look at you like this, like what are you doing, And then you see this movie, dashing smile, like it's one of those blockbuster movies. Since the war started, this man has lost 40% of his $15.9 billion worth. He has lost 40% of it. This man is a very good friend of Putin. He's been there for him. He's a close ally and friend of Putin. You see him and Putin there. He's the chairman of Russia's largest steel company. Now, because the way Russia is and Russia operates, you can't be there except you are there. You understand what I mean? You can't just be there. Chairman of something, leader of something, CEO of something, if you are not there. You must be trusted, you must belong, you must understand how it's going. And that is why the UK government and other European nations are heaping sanctions on these guys, because they feel these guys are as dangerous to the world as Putin himself. Number 6 on our list is Vagit Alekperov. Vagit Alekperov. Yes, Vagit Yusufovich Alekperov. He's a Russia-Azerbaijan businessman. He was president of Lukoil from, I think, at about 1993 or 94 to 2022 last year. It is for you to be the president of such an important part of Russian life. You would know this is him sitting very close opposite the supreme leader himself, Vladimir Putin, and they've been friends for quite some time. They've been friends for quite some time, and it's been very rosy and wonderful for them. And if not for this war, now this man has lost $14.4 billion, because one of the sector that was impacted by this war is the oil industry, where he has led for years. Is the oil industry, the gas and oil industry, because let's not forget that Russia supplies 60% of the oil products, gas and oil, that the whole of Europe consumes. So this war has made some European nations to seek alternative on how they can source their oil. So this man has lost $14.4 billion since the war began. And number 7 of our list is a man I like, a man I have gone through his profile a whole lot of time. A very important man, the Russian oligarch. He is no other than Leonid Mikhelsin. Now, this guy looks like Brad Pitt's brother. He looks like Brad Pitt's younger or elder brother. He looks like a movie star, you know. Yeah, you look at the way he looks. Look at the way he looks. You see, oh, wonderful. You know, Leonid Viktorovich Mikhelsin. He said he is a Russian billionaire and oligarch, and a CEO and a major shareholder in the Russian gas company. He is a close ally and confidant of Putin. One man that Putin listens to, one man that Putin respects, one man that, though he looks so calm outwardly, he is a tactician when it comes to stoking the fire of war. This man is worth a princely $21.2 billion. $21.2 billion. And out of that $21.2 billion, he has lost $10.9 billion. You know, yes, his company Novatech, it's still there. They have one or two challenges because of the war, and this is really affecting him. And this man, he looks so handsome, like it's Brad Pitt's twin brother. You see his face. See his face. And he looks like a movie star here. You see the way he look, and you see star. Now this is billionaire products. You see billionaire products. Wonderful. Look at the smile, man. He looks like a teenager. He looks